Profiles like that, I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken. We just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question less. And I've said it before, time after time.
Welcome
I'm the
to
spitting
Flat
flat
Earth
earth
Debate
king of
live.
life.
I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using stock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Click OK, Adam, Sensual Goat, Refracted Curvature, Neil, Jin, Len, I think that's Arthur, and a whole bunch of people in the Flipside Discord server. So, welcome one and all.
How are you?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Very well. I'm going to start off by repeating what I repeated in the pre-show from 10th Man's message to me yesterday, discussing yesterday's show. Now, I won't bore you with the intricate details of his dissection of yesterday's show, but I will repeat verbatim his last sentence in this message. Quote, "Personally, I don't need to defend measurements. I just proclaim them." End quote, 10th Man.
Profound, but it's true.
It's very true, yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
It's exactly.
There's a reason
he doesn't worry about it.
Well, it works both ways. So when I describe how the normies that we're covering on the videos that we cover of recent times don't make any explanations, declarations, or apologies for how globe-shaped the world isn't when they measure it flat. They just describe how they make the measurement, and that's it. There's nothing else to declare. Now, the same principle applies to us. There's no need to defend anything when you lay down how Earth is measured flat. Back when this first came to our attention in terms of how we would put it across in the so-called debate, I described it as you slap it on the desk and then walk away. You slap down how Earth is measured flat. There's no need to explain it. There's no need to justify it. There's no need to use it as an argument. It isn't an argument. It's a declaration of fact when it comes to how Earth is measured. Earth is measured flat. No need to explain. No need to defend. No need to justify. It's just a fact. It's not that serious. It's just how we measure Earth. Flat in all circumstances and without exception.
Agreed.
I mean, you can offer up some crazy apologetic for why it isn't being measured spherically. So over curry on Friday of last week, I was discussing this with Craig, who has watched Dave McKeegan's latest videos about elevation profiles. And he said, well, you can still graph things that aren't flat. For example, revolutions per minute. You can describe that on a flat graph. You're like, okay, so that means that when we measure the deviation from the vertical with a mean average of sea level, that's comparable in some form or another to the lack of curvature when compared to an engine that's turning. I'm going to go with no. We're just measuring the difference on the vertical when we get an average for sea level and then use that to describe how much the topology of the land rises or falls with respect to that average sea level. It's level. The clue's in the title. Now, when you're talking about a car with its revolutions per minute, the clue is in the title there too. It's got revolutions per minute in the description. But when you're describing how flat sea level is, it's not sea revolutions per minute. So Dave McKeegan, demonstrating his complete idiocy as always, in his fugly manner that he does. Comparatively speaking, you can't use revolutions to compare and contrast to flat sea level. It's just level. It's not that serious. We just measure Earth flat.
So they're going full retard, huh?
Yep. Never go full retard,
Yep.
Dave McKeegan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever think that measurements would do this much damage to both sides? I thought everybody would be jumping for joy. Instead, it's creating friction everywhere.
Yeah, it's friction causing because if you're on the globe side of this discussion, the order of the day until recently was utilise flat Earth prerequisite measurements of surface level, elevation angles, altitude, eye level, and then once you've acquired said measurements from a flat Earth, talk about how you will calculate into existence a spherical Earth. Now, the order of the day is don't mention the fact that we had to measure it flat first, and no one will notice. Now we've noticed. Now, because the normies, as I just said earlier, also measure Earth flat, but see no need to utilise said flat measurements for an apologetic for how curved it isn't, they just talk about how they measure Earth flat. No explanation, no justification, no apology. But in this little arena, as I say, the order of the day is use flat Earth measurements to create a ball to believe in and hope that nobody notices. Well, we noticed, yeah? Earth was being measured flat the entire time by everyone, without exception. So now we've noticed, it's not that serious. You measure Earth flat, I measure Earth flat, the normies measure Earth flat, we all measure Earth flat. It's because it's flat.
But Nathan, if I just use that, then I can't impress people with my ability to unpack Coriolis.
You hit it right in the head.
Yeah. That's something that I've described this as something detestable that I hated learning. Why would I have to fill my head with descriptions of non-inertial turning reference frames with objects travelling in a straight line above them in an inertial reference frame, with you on the non-inertial turning reference frame observing a not actual deflection as the object travelling in a straight line appears to drift because you're turning underneath it, aka the Coriolis deflection or Coriolis force, the force being the not actual curving of the ball that's actually travelling in a straight line. Now, I can concisely summarise this after doing this crap for 10 years, but a lot of people in the arena want to sound intellectually superior to next man by knowing such convoluted nonsense to spew at their next man when describing how Earth isn't turning underneath aeroplanes, hot air balloons, and you if you jump up and down, as it's claimed to be when described as a non-inertial turning reference frame. All the people in our side, that's the anti-globers, formerly known as flat earthers, want to do is fart and then sniff their own stink while they spew their Coriolis nonsense at people. Now me, I'm just like, why do I need to know this crap? I don't need to know it. It's not necessary. There is no Coriolis for an Earth that's turning, because it's not. We'd notice. We don't. If we're on a roundabout with a ball tossed over the top of us, we notice it seems to curve when it's really travelling in a straight path. That's got sod all to do with Earth, so why the hell should I have to learn it? Now, I don't want to, but the people around me do. They want to so that they can seem intellectually superior to the next person that they're talking to in line about how Earth isn't turning. It's pathetic.
Show 2381. Hold on one second. Show 2380.
Hang on. You're always getting in there. Can I get in there now? Thanks. No, that's absolutely not right there, Nathan. Not all flat earthers are snipping their own butts, okay? That's too fucking general. Strong. Don't even go there. All right? That's not good at all. That's a slur on me. I'm one of those guys you're talking about.
Second, Neil.
I will always take the time to explain if it's necessary. The fact that I've learned it is good because I can stop the deception right there. It's measured flat.
Just address you then.
The Earth isn't rotating. Great. That's what I'm saying, yeah?
Gotcha.
So it's okay for people. Not all flat earthers want to be that intellectual. There are some out there, yes. I've met them myself. But me and the people I hang around with, that's not what we do, you know? We sincerely just want to engage and stop the misinformation. And sometimes you've got to learn their silliness in order to get that across. So please be careful.
We learned it 10 years ago. So
Thanks, Neil.
2381.
Hold on, I want to address him. I've just told you twice.
I'm still engaging.
Oh, my God, Neil. I do want to respond to him. Yeah, what Jin's accusing me of, my God, is a stereotyping fallacy. He's saying you can't stereotype all flat earthers as enjoying their own flatulence when they describe not actual deflection from a non-inertial turning reference frame, aka Coriolis effect. Not all anti-globers, formerly known as flat earthers, love sniffing their own farts when they describe Coriolis effect. Just most of them.
Is it safe? What the freak?
Yes.
So 2381. Brian, Nathan's trying to make us irrelevant by just going to the measurements. So yes, there are a lot of people that are like that, Jin. Maybe not you. So sometimes if it don't apply, let it fly.
Just for clarity in that regard, Brian's utter irrelevance in this forum has nothing to do with Earth measurements, just because it's Brian.
I'm never going to let it fly because it's not most flat earthers. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from? Most flat earthers. Where'd you get that from?
It was a joke.
No.
Instead of being an overt stereotyping fallacy, I made it a mild stereotyping fallacy for humorous effect, Jin.
Okay, got it now.
Still, both were a stereotype. If I say most flat earthers, that's just as much a stereotyping fallacy. I just did it for a laugh. It was just supposed to be funny.
But sometimes people might not get that joke. Be careful. I didn't get it.
Yeah, but you're the unique one, Jin.
I would say that the people that oppose the measurements, who are flat earthers, they have something wrong with them. And that's as good a guess as I'm willing to give.
Okay, that's perfect. Jin, I've always said to you, you're different because you love the measurements. There are some, and they sat right here, that detested that we went right to measurements. Those are the ones that want to sniff their own farts. Not you.
Yeah. So when Brian says Nathan's trying to make us irrelevant with measurements, it's because when you cut the knees off your opponent by saying it's not that serious, we just measure Earth flat, we collectively, you, me, everyone measures Earth flat. There aren't any exceptions to that. Brian damn well knew it the moment I started describing it. That's why he objected. His initial objection was you can't describe flatness in that statement. It's just a description as opposed to a geometrical, mathematical, accurate assertion. It's just a description. The word flat isn't the right word. Piss off, you stupid idiot. Yeah, it is. We measure Earth flat. You don't like that fact because you've been made redundant. All your study over the last 10 years, the only thing that gave you a semblance of any importance here, is washed away when you can tell next man, it's not that serious. Earth's measured flat. No, you must understand how the pitch data works. No, you don't need to know any of that stuff. You don't need to know how Coriolis works. You don't need to know how pitch data works. You don't need to know about advanced heliocentrism. But that's what my counterparts spent the entire time sniffing their own farts with. Look how intellectually superior we are. We understand heliocentrism. I can describe the Einsteinian field equations in a concise summary. Wow, can you? Well, that makes you very important, doesn't it? Until I come along and say, nah, it's not that serious. Just measure Earth flat. We, that's everyone, measures Earth flat. Suddenly, knowing how advanced heliocentrism works becomes far less important. But if that's all you've got, then you're going to be annoyed at me. Someone with personality that will survive this moving on. You know, somebody with a crap mic that can't hear a single sentence because they're muffled and muttering and not concise and waffling the same things 5 times. Those people can become quickly irrelevant when someone with a bit of personality just says, it's not that serious. Earth's just measured flat. So yeah, they're going to kick up a fuss. They want to seem intellectually superior. Well, you're not. Nobody cares. It's not that serious.
Well, I earlier on today, Japan time, that would be Japan in the morning. It would be yesterday for you guys. I was embroiled in this debate there. I laid it down, the horizontal constant, Earth is measured flat, and I still had to elaborate because the people themselves wanted an explanation. Do you know what I mean? What am I going to, I'm just going to say to them, it's measured flat. That's all you need to know. Don't sweat it. No, they were firing questions 10 to the dozen. So I had to know their model to show them the errors in their model, ladies and gentlemen, right? That's all. So you're going to need to elaborate. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
Right.
Go ahead, John.
And if you don't want to, if you don't wish to elaborate, that's fine.
Jin. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, don't.
I thought Refractor was trying to get in.
He is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to get in, Nathan. Oh, why do you need to know how they're wrong if you know it's measured flat and they know that too? Why do you have to fix their cognition for them?
Right. They don't know that, though. That's the thing. The guys you may be talking about are the seasoned globers who know it's flat. And I don't engage those idiots. I don't really have to engage them to explain. They know. I'm talking about the new people that come along first time. And you say that to them, they don't know what you mean. Okay, they're the people I engage. New people, not the globers and the Gem Pandas and the Earth Awakenings and all that. I don't waste my time there. When I go to listen, say a few words and I'm gone. But I'm talking about people who are just coming in. I'm meeting people who are just coming in still 10 years later. They're the people I'm talking about that you have to elaborate to. They don't even know their own model. They don't even know the errors in their model.
That's not what he asked. His question was directed to you, as in, why do you need to fix them?
Well, because I said that Earth is measured flat. It's a flat Earth that we live on. That's why.
Yeah, but then you said that they don't understand that. At that point, either they're just stupid or they have a preconceived religious belief that they want to express at you. Then the question comes from John, well, why do you want to rearrange their cognition?
Oh, yeah, because I want them to understand that they're living on a flat Earth and what they think they live on doesn't exist.
Why?
You just ask them, hang on, I asked them, can you actually prove, have you actually gone out to confirm that? Are you believing? Because believing means you've accepted something without confirmation or validation. That means you don't actually know. Is that how you want to live your life? That's cool. You want to do that? That's fine. But it's not a globe, though.
Yeah, but you still haven't answered the question. Just listen carefully. John's asking you why you want to convert them, as opposed to how they don't understand, which is what you're answering.
Well, they're asking me questions. So they're asking me questions. So then that's why. If they're asking me questions as to why I'm saying it's flat, I'll tell them why it's flat. It's measured flat. So it's quite simple, isn't it? Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask, do you put yourself in situations to be asked those questions because you feel like it's your calling in life?
No, I don't put myself in that situation as such. The topic may come up, space, Earth, globe. And then I say, how do you know it's a globe? I ask them how they know it's a globe. And that's not a crime. It's not a crime to ask somebody, how do they know that the Earth is a globe when you're carrying the information that it's not, that you should be sharing with everyone when the timing is right, of course. So don't go out on the street and start shoving it down people's throats. That's not what I do. Thank you very much. But when the topic matter comes up, especially in school situations, education, I ask the students and engage them to say, how do you know this? And that's when they learn that the Earth is not a globe. So I feel as a human being living on the flat Earth, I'm doing my job correctly. After all, how this Earth was made, nobody knows. But lies are being told about it. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm putting the record straight. Thank you. And that's my right to do that. Thanks.
No, I didn't say it wasn't. But when you say on the streets, you mean in public, right?
Yeah,
that's just like a slang way of saying.
Yes, absolutely. When I'm on holiday, on the beach, park, mountaineering, yeah.
Oh, you literally mean on the streets then? Not metaphorically?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
My God, you're a proper flat Earth evangelist.
Well, I'm not an evangelist at all, no, because I'll take that as an insult because I'm not doing evangelistic work at all. I'm sincerely informing the people that they've been misinformed. That's all. And they're very respectful, and I do mini presentations from my smartphone. And
that's not an insult.
Don't take that literally. It's a joke, mate.
No, but that's not an insult. You are a flat earth evangelist. You feel that you want to tell people that they've been lied to and that the earth is really flat. There's nothing wrong with that, Jin.
Yeah, I
That's not
don't
an
look at
insult.
it evangelistic.
When I say
Yeah, I don't look at
evangelist,
it that.
hold on, Jin. When I say it, right, it's specifically in reference to Christians. But an evangelist is somebody who seeks to convert others to the Christian faith. Now, when I say you're a flat earth evangelist, you are seeking to convert people to the reality of a flat earth. So I'm not trying to insult you by that. I'm just saying that the word that it needs to make it less insulting is the proactivity aspect of it that I'm not including when I say flat earth evangelist. I mean, you go out and proactively tell people that they've been deceived.
When the time comes up, when the timing is right, that's it. When the timing is right. So I'm not like today, I didn't do any much, only this morning on a server, but on the streets, I didn't do that today. The timing wasn't there.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, but
call you-
evangelize doesn't mean just the street. It means when the opportunity comes up, you're going to tell them, okay, so if
Yeah.
I'm a Christian evangelist, when the opportunity comes up, I evangelize. I tell people about Christ. When the opportunity comes up, you tell people about flat earth. It was definitely not made to be an insult.
Yeah, we can call you Saint Jin the evangelist.
And now he's being funny.
Yeah,
Jim.
I won't like that because I'm a Muslim anyway, so I won't like that at all.
I didn't know you were a Muslim.
I would take that as an insult.
No, that makes a lot more sense that you'd find that insulting then. My bad, I will take it back. I didn't know you were a Muslim. I'm sure you have actually told me previously, I just forgot.
Yeah.
All right, now if we're talking about measurements, I had the total opposite
The way we're
effect.
using...
Go ahead, John, you go first.
No, Neil, you were ahead of me, actually. You go.
Yeah, but you're never here, so when you're here, we like to hear from you, so go ahead.
Well, I was just saying the term evangelism, it's been attached to Christianity. But the meaning of the word is just to rearrange someone's cognition. You're trying to change the way they think.
Yes.
So,
Actually, I'm not doing that. What I'm doing, sorry to cut you off, John. I'm informing them. That's all. They're going to have to do the cognitive processes themselves if they do wish to do the investigation and change their mind themselves. I'm just giving them the information. That's all.
Good point.
Okay, from what I know, evangelist comes from the prefix EU, which means good or well in English, plus angel, which is another word for message. Angels of God basically means messengers of God. So evangelist is one who takes the good message to the world, which is the gospel, basically.
It gave me goosebumps. Couldn't be more complimentary when you define it that way. You're the good messenger of God, Jin, when you evangelize the facts of Earth's flatness.
Yeah, I know Allah will be pleased because he can see that I'm informing people about his beautiful earth that he has created, which is totally horizontal. And that is an emotional connection that people will, and I want people to enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Allah be praised. Yeah. The earth is flat.
Allah, Allahu-Akbar, we say. Allahu-Akbar, Subhan Allah. Allah is great. Allah is wonderful.
And earth is flat.
I say praise Jesus because he's Almighty God. But let's not get into religion. I have the total opposite effect. Like when I explained to my son how Earth is measured, he understood it. Is he a flat earther now? No. But he's coming around. Like last night when I said to him, Jacob, you understand the measurements, right? He's like, yeah, I know. So when they're presented with measurements, they cannot go turn to a globe because you've just demonstrated that it's flat.
Yes. The fact that we measure it is, and I've said this all of last week, the one reason that people can turn to you after this process is concluded and say, I already knew. It must be acceptable as self-evident for people to understand it. If it isn't, then they can start asking questions, even if they tentatively accept a flat earth belief system as something that they could engage with. The question that almost immediately follows, without stereotyping absolutely everybody, is what difference does it make? So that question's never been answered. There's never been a satisfactory answer. Now there is one. When somebody says to you, well, what difference does it make? I can answer, none. No difference at all. Nothing will change whatsoever. Earth was, is, and always will be measured flat. Nothing changes. What's that? But you believed you were on a ball? Yeah, and? Doesn't mean that anything around you's going to change. We'll still be measuring Earth flat tomorrow as we measure Earth flat today. And it was measured flat yesterday. So from that perspective, in terms of how we deal with Earth, nothing will change. What's that? You need to relinquish a belief? Who cares? It was a belief. You never went out to a sky vacuum that doesn't exist. You never experienced sphericity beneath your feet. So these beliefs that you held were just that. Beliefs. Very easy to relinquish. What's that? That will change your life. No, it really won't. Relinquishing your ball belief won't change your life at all. Because Earth's still measured flat.
No, yeah, relinquishing your belief, ladies and gentlemen, will lighten the load on your brain because you now know that you're not living on a globe, you're living on a flat Earth. And then you might begin to wonder, so did they go to the moon? Can we go to space? No. What about all that money that we're losing, through this deception? So it will change your life. It might prompt you to want to inform others so that you can then form a group and start demanding the government accountability as to why are you wasting our money on a space project when nothing is actually happening out there. You're stealing our money. So this thing is it could be quite serious, ladies and gentlemen. It changed my life. I'm much happier now that I know that asteroids are not going to come in and destroy the Earth, for example. So it's an emotional uplift. That's a fact. And no one could ever take that away from me.
I agreed with you right up until the point that you were like, well, they're stealing our money. I have a certain amount of apathy for that fact because the money aspect to me isn't so important. It's just little bits of paper that they print out with numbers in computers. It's just, to me, you can't take it with you when you die. In terms of its usefulness, yes, it's a means to an end. We all require money to do certain things. But it shouldn't be the most important thing in life. Therefore, when there's others who dedicate their life to it and dedicate their being to lying and deceiving so that they can achieve more money, to me, like I say, I have a certain amount of apathy towards that.
But we're about to be taxed 40% in the UK, mate. So personally, I find it's that disgusting.
I would say render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. When you look at that money, what does it say on it?
Yours says in God we trust. As says God save the king. Yours says in God we trust.
Who owns that note? Who is printed who's the authority of that note you're holding when you hold up money? Is it you?
No.
The note. The promissory
note, yes.
It says if you present the note at the bank, they will give you the amount of gold that it's worth.
No, that's if it's backed by gold.
Is anybody else?
It is a Federal Reserve note.
Sorry, Matthias, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Federal Reserve note for the American citizens.
I just want to read this out because I'd never heard that phrase before. So the phrase, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God, comes from the teachings of Jesus in the Gospels, Matthew 22:21. It means that the people should fulfill their obligations to the government, such as paying taxes, whilst maintaining their ultimate obligation and devotion to God. That was epic. Perfectly timed, perfectly dropped in, John. Love it.
Well, actually, there's a couple other verses in the Bible that strictly dictate that everything on this earth, in this earth, and under the heavens belongs to God. So nothing belongs to Caesar. Everything belongs to God. So,
and I think it's a crime that children not yet born are going to be born into the heavy debt that they didn't have anything to do with. And they're going to be paying taxes for things that they don't benefit from. That's stealing, that's criminality, that's corruption. That's why it's disgusting, as my esteemed colleague, just blurted out there. Thank you. Okay.
Well,
so no, I'll always be the
and-
guy that's going to be fighting the system and making sure that they know that what they're doing is wrong. Okay? Thank you.
Matthias.
Well, and another thing, you know, if a book is telling you to pay taxes to a government system that condones and even advocates for baby sacrifices, also known as abortions, then I don't think that's a very holy book to begin with.
Fair enough.
It's when you look at this properly, very dangerous. Remember, they're giving us horrible things to take into our bodies as well. You know? All right? Yeah, let's carry on.
Taking a scripture out of context.
Yeah, we are. We're making it far
okay,
more
well,
serious than it needs to be.
I'm not.
Ladies
talking
and
about
gentlemen,
reality.
go from the fact that Earth is measured flat to a potential debate about abortion. You get it all here on Flat Earth Debate, I tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, that's because everything's happening on a flat Earth, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, John. Everything's happening on a flat Earth, you see, ladies and gentlemen. The horizontal constant. That's where we are. And all actions are happening on a flat Earth where it's measured and utilized flat. Thank you.
What would be the implication for a Muslim in reference to, you know, the globe Earth and the flat Earth? Would that be different if you need to point your mat in a certain direction towards Mecca? What would be it? Would you know that, Jin, the implications of that?
Yeah, that's very, very true. A black American, actually, back in 2016, put it out. He said that if you're looking at the Mercator map and that, and you're trying to get to Mecca, you're looking in the wrong direction. But yeah, on the AE map, it was perfect. So yeah, there is a problem with that. You could be facing the wrong direction, thinking you're praying to Mecca, and you're not.
Yeah, sure, but directionality itself is flat. So if you're going to say, well, let's point towards Mecca, and it's that direction, when you give it out as a direction on a compass, the directionality itself can only be described as a flat direction.
You beat me to it.
Absolutely, absolutely correct. Wasn't on a globe. It didn't work at all.
Sorry, Jin. So as I understand it, the Muslims in North America, they face northeast.
It's a flat direction, though, isn't it? Northeast is flat. You've seen it on a compass as flat, right?
What map?
Stuttery, do you want to acknowledge what I've just said? Because I've said it twice and you haven't acknowledged me. I've answered you, Edibay, you cheeky tosser. Flat, like on a compass. You understand that, do you?
Yeah, I know, but if
you stuttery little bitch, I'm going to give you one last chance to respond to what I've actually addressed you with when you brought up a point about praying to Mecca. It is a flat direction, like on a compass. Fourth time, if you don't say yes, I'll kick you out.
Well, the difference is...
Bye-bye, dickhead. Bye-bye, dickhead. If you bring up a point on my show, and then I directly respond to you, and you stutter and stammer and try and find the words to undermine what I've said rather than just saying yes, that's to say you address the fact that Edibay couldn't quite cope with in this example. Take a compass, put it on your hand, and look at any direction on it. It is flat. Edibay couldn't quite cope with that fact, so he turned into a stuttery little bitch, didn't he? Yeah, when you point out that all Earth measurements are flat, in this case directionality on a compass, you'll get stuttery, stammery little bitches who can't quite cope with that fact. Need to find different words where I can't find the words to undermine what you've said in address to what I've brought up. Yeah, if you're going to pray in a direction towards Mecca, it's going to be flat. That's the fifth time I've said it to address this tosser that's just been removed from my show's point, that he brought up and got addressed 5 times. Twat.
You're absolutely 1,000% correct, right, Nathan, because it is a flat direction without a doubt. And when you look at that globe, okay, it's all wrong. When you look at the AE map, even though it's a controversial map, the actual direction is absolutely correct. It is northeast. It's just that it looks stupid on the globe. It's the wrong direction on the globe, but on the AE, it's bang on the money.
There is
flat
no north
and the right direction.
There is no northeast on a globe. Right, northeast is a flat directionality, isn't it, Jin?
Absolutely 1,000% correct.
So why is it that Jin can acknowledge this, but stuttery, stammery Edibay can't? Yeah? Shills everywhere. It's not that serious, though. Yeah, just go and look at a compass. It's flat. Now, that shouldn't take 5 attempts with a stuttery, stammery bitch, should it? It's not that serious.
It got a bit serious, though, then, Nathan. It got a bit serious because he's gone now.
Yeah, he's got a bit serious because he ignored me, fundamentally tried to undermine me, and stuttered and stammered his way around a non-response. When you ask about direction, praying towards Mecca, and I say, yeah, the direction's flat, though, I don't expect on the 4th time to lose my temper with you and have to remove you because you can't just say, yes. The direction I'm describing, regardless of what it is flat, like on a 2-dimensional compass. If you can't do that, I'll just kick you out. Because all you're here to do is to distract, divide, cause problems, piss off. That's my attitude to twats like Ed the Bear, who can't say, yeah, I understand that a compass is flat. They got to stutter and stammer their way around a non-response. Get lost. Yeah, you won't get to do that here, you dumbo. Can't you acknowledge that a compass is flat? Well, then get lost. You don't deserve to be here.
And that was all because
he can't
said,
say yes.
Go ahead, Neil. Go on. Sorry.
He can't say yes because then he's conceding, Nathan. He's only here to disrupt.
Yeah, I don't need him to concede. That's why I kicked him out. You're not needed, Ed Bear. Yeah, we don't need your acknowledgement. It's a courtesy I'm asking for because you're joining in the conversation. Until you don't, then you can get lost. But in terms of what I spit at my audience in this regard, a compass is flat. The directions on it are flat. We're talking about 2-dimensional directionality. This isn't questionable. This isn't up for debate. It's not like I need a non-response from a wanker 5 times. Just get lost. I'll reiterate the fact that a compass describes flat directionality. It's not up for discussion.
You know what gives it away? Is that when you hold a compass, you must level it to the plane of reference to get a direction. That's how you know it's with respect to that plane of reference. It's not hard.
But that's what we got to deal with. We have to deal with irritating twats. You can't cope with the facts in this matter. Need to stutter their way around the facts. There's no northeast on a globe. Yeah, as John just pointed out, you're levelling the tool to the plane of reference. What's that? You don't like it because you want to assert globe nature. No, there isn't a northeast on a globe. It's just a fact. There's no northern and southern hemispheres. That's incongruent with what north and south are. It's nonsense. Nonsense, waffle and doublespeak from idiots who believe they're on a sphere and therefore need to double talk their way around the facts. What are the facts? Directions are flat. That's just a fact. But it's not that serious. We don't have to piss around with these wankers anymore. I'll just remove you. If you can't cope with saying, yeah, I understand that a compass is flat. If you can't cope with that, get lost.
Yeah, you're making me laugh, Nathan, because you said it's not serious, but you got serious, and then you're not serious again. I love it. Your heart rate went up, boom, 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 and then back down, boom, 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 boom. Okay, right.
Yeah, the facts in the matter aren't that serious, Jin. That's what I'm saying. What a compass is and how a compass works isn't that serious. I mean, who cares, literally? Anybody who's been a Boy Scout or a Girl Guide knows how a compass works. My kids learn how to take elevation angle measurements, to utilise them with maps and compass measurements that are flat. They've learnt that in Rainbows and Brownies. That's what they've learnt. Now, did the Brownie Girl Guide teacher have to tell them, oh, well, you know, this isn't on a ball, but that's because blah, 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 blah. No. They just explained how the flat directionalities function if you're using a map. Now, that isn't that serious, is it? No disclaimers needed, no apologies needed. At all.
Absolutely correct there. Yes, in that situation, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. But with his silly little ass elder bear now, yeah, you had to explain everything, get it out, and you did. And then you gave him the chance. Are you going to say yes here? Because I have responded to you directly. Oh, you're gone. Boom, that's it. There you are. So
they need to make it something.
Nathan, can I ask what?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what was the symbol on the badge?
It's a little compass. It's like a little compass for the mapping thing that I've got. I think I've got it behind me. I don't think I've got it sewn on yet. I'll see if I can grab it. It's a little compass, though.
Thank you. Sorry, John.
Oh, I was just going to say the serious part of Nathan came out when someone wanted to ignore what he said and carry on as if they had a point to make, as to make Nathan's statement of fact untrue in some way. That gets irritating. So that's when he gets serious.
That's the very first thing that I noticed in this show, 6 years ago or so, was that any time that you said something that was completely reasonable and correct and indisputable, they wouldn't let you have it. They won't let you have the simplest things, and that's where they fail. They fail at step one.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. That's serious. A serious wanker. Because he needs to undermine the facts in the matter. So he needs to make it about people, groups, religions, anything but the measurements. Yeah, then it gets serious after the 5 attempts I made to make him concede a simple, basic, not serious at all fact about how bleeding compass works. But you can't do it, yeah? You need to say, I don't think I need to be conceding this because then Earth's measured flat with a compass. Yeah, it is. It's just a fact. And you might not like that, but facts are facts.
Yeah. Yeah, so Elder Bear lives alive as a liar every day of the week because he can't accept the truth. Now, what kind of mental state of mind do you have to be in to live like that, ladies and gentlemen, that he cannot relinquish the globe at all, that he's going to lie for the rest of his life? What a desperate, sorry,
he pretends
silly
to
man.
be a flat earther, you know that, right?
Sorry?
Like a lot of the shills that seem to be coming out of the woodwork that want to decry the very simple, not too serious, flat measurements that we're describing here on a daily basis now. There's quite a few pretend flat earthers out there who want to say, no, we can't use this very simplistic flat earth prerequisite measurement to say that Earth's flat. What will the globers say? Yeah, they're coming out of the woodwork. They're shills. The ones pretending to be flat earthers that don't like how flat Earth is measured and want to argue against how flat Earth is measured when it's simple, demonstrable fact. In this case, with a compass. You're going to tell me the thing's globe-shaped? No, obviously not. But they will brace against this and set us against each other in terms of what religious group we fall in, or what Discord server we fall in, or whether or not the measurements have gone through an algorithm to get them onto paper. That's what the shilly claim to be flat earthers are currently doing. Now, if you know for sure and without a doubt that Earth is measured flat, you'll notice it immediately. Like, aren't you supposed to be a flat earther? Why are you bracing against this simple axiomatic fact? Very shilly.
Yeah, that horizontal constant, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reality of where we are. Horizontally. Flat Earth. Measured and utilized flat. It always was. It's never been anything else but that. Yeah, thank you.
And if you want to try to describe a globe with it, you got to measure it flat first.
Yep.
That's what kills them.
I was ignorant when you first went through bunk and debunk and your conversion from a flat plane elevation angle measurement to your light in the kitchen to a conversion process that the ballers use to convert their flat plane measurements into sphericity for a globe Earth. You converted your kitchen into a spherical world. Now, I didn't fully get it at the time. I didn't understand the importance of how Earth being measured flat simultaneously translates into them, that's our opponents on the globe Earth believing side, requiring flat Earth elevation angle measurements to create a ball to believe in. Now, coincidentally, it's on screen now. You on a flat plane measuring elevation angles in the depiction to a satellite. Orbital mechanics. All of the prerequisites in terms of the measurements that are utilised to create sphericity are flat. was actually a video that OneDeck provided about flights. Should we go through that?
Sure.
Yes, please. Thank you, OneDeck.
Yeah, he's good like that.
There you go.
Hey, OneDeck.
Sorry, I was in and I've just had a lot of stuff going on, so I've missed most of the show.
Okay, can you all see that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's a good start. First slide says straight and level. Learning to fly part 3. Straight and level flight. Please let this videographer, which is Air Safety Matters, know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube algorithmic bots or indeed by the videographer themselves. So if you are in my live stream, you can probably see from the live stream chat that I've posted a link to this videographer. Now, this is a pretty old video. It was made 11 years ago, but it's had 58,000 views from a channel that's only got 2.7k subscribers. So not exactly a huge following. Still managed to garner 50,000 views with this particular video. So please let the videographer know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. This video has only had 15 comments. So I'm sure the videographer would be grateful that you, my audience, are toddling along, if I could say it, to his video to help him along in the algorithmic love that he, as any YouTuber, would like to receive. The idea behind this being that if this videographer was to see that I'd sent people to his video to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, that he'd do the same for me if he was to make a response video. Not him, but anybody that we're doing a video response to. My hope is that they would do the same for me and put a link to my video if they were to make a response. But for you, my audience right here, right now, please toddle along to Air Safety Matters and let them know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment. And I'm not just saying this from a health. I actually do hope that you will do this as an audience member right now. And that if you do go and say, hey, Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, by the time you've come back, you'll still hear me doing the exact same call to action, hence me doing it several times and saying over and over again, please let Air Safety Matters know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube algorithmic bots. That is to say, don't swear at them or be passive aggressive in any way. Be as polite as you possibly can when you allude to the fact that we have covered their video today. Hopefully that's bought enough time for a few members of my audience. I'm not entirely sure how many people are actually watching currently. 77, 68. I can see the number dropping, so that means that people are disappearing to go and actually leave a comment, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully a few of you will actually leave a comment and people can see that on this show, which is 2445, I believe, today. No, 2446. Is that right? Whatever. That we've covered their video on today's show. Hopefully that's enough time to actually crack on.
Nathan,
straight and level flight.
Was this video made?
In order to fly the aircraft straight, we first of all select a reference point towards which we'll fly.
Hello.
We keep the...
Go ahead.
When was this video made?
11 years ago.
Hopefully nothing's changed since then.
No, nothing will have changed in terms of how straight gets described, how level gets described. And as I said, it's not going to change tomorrow like it wasn't going to change yesterday.
The wings level with the horizon.
It's game over. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Using aileron. We keep the aircraft in balance using the rudder. If the ball were to the right, right rudder will be required. Ball to the left, left rudder will be required to bring the ball back to the center. To fly the aircraft level, we need first of all to select the level flight power, combined with the correct level flight attitude.
Game over. Welcome to Flat Earth.
And that's the distance between the spinner and the horizon.
So, in other words, we're utilising the horizon in straight and level flight. Yeah, Earth's measured flat.
Now, as long as the power is set correctly, and the attitude is set correctly, and the aircraft is in trim, the aircraft will maintain level flight, which can be confirmed by reference with the altimeter.
Yeah, because it's measuring the height with respect to the surface level.
Okay, we're now going to look at straight level flight. Let's divide this into two. First of all, level flight. To fly the aircraft level, two requirements. First, the level flight power, correctly set. Second, the level flight attitude. You can see where the horizon is cutting through the windscreen. That's the position in this aircraft for level flight.
Again, Nathan, utilising the horizon, the surface of Earth, the apparent horizon, but it is utilising the surface of Earth, and that's what you're using to remain, saying straight and level flight. You know what I mean?
So you don't even need pitch data.
Yeah, it's not serious.
There is no apparent horizon. There's only the horizon. Apparent is part of the definition.
Yeah, the apparent aspect is the apparent meeting of sky and ground. The sky never meets the ground. The sky doesn't touch the ground. But in terms of what you see in this view, the sky appears to meet the ground. That is the point that's being utilised in this description for straight and level flight. And notice there's no requirement for any pitch data. We're not utilising any algorithmic readouts on graphs. It's just describing the altitude, the attitude, the pitch with respect to the horizon, and straight and level flight. No apologies are required, no explanations are needed beyond what he is actually detailing. And what he is detailing, make no mistake, is Earth being measured flat for flight.
If I were to select slightly too low a nose attitude, you can see the horizon climbing in the windscreen, the nose pointing towards the ground, and we begin to lose height.
Height as in the elevation with respect to the surface level?
If I have slightly too high a nose attitude, the converse happens, the aircraft begins to climb. So,
in other words, if you deviate from the horizontal, you're either climbing or descending. So the two states are climbing with respect to a horizontal level measured with an altimeter off the surface level, or descending with respect to the horizontal with a declination in elevation with respect to the horizontal. So we're going to need horizontal then.
So that would be like saying, you have how much you pitch up and how much you pitch down from the horizon, the horizontal, will determine what the aircraft is doing. It's either going to, depending on your pitch, from the horizontal.
But does it matter that this isn't raw data? I mean, we are watching it on a video after all.
Has nothing to do with it. We're seeing what's happening.
But I mean, if I was a shill, I could suggest that we're just watching a video reproduction. This has gone through YouTube's compression.
Plus, as well, you can see on these small aircraft, and we've had a couple of these, they've got instrumentation in there, and he's referencing them, but they tend to, the instructors always say to the tutors, they want them to get their head not out of the plane, but they want them to use the horizon, the wings in reference to the horizon, the cockpit horizon, which you've just been through. So you're utilising your natural surroundings and what you can see to maintain straight and level flight.
But seriously though, this video has been through YouTube compression, so are you sure we can use this?
It's not raw. It's not raw, Nathan.
It isn't raw. That's correct, Neil. We're not actually looking at this altimeter, are we? It's on a TV screen through YouTube after compression. I mean, let's throw it all out.
I mean, it's funny though, I know you don't like talking about triangles, but I did comment on one of his videos. I think I posted it, Mr. B, but it's not a major thing, but he was going on about flight. So I just threw a little comment in there to say to Dave, you mean a straight and level flight above sea level, don't you, Dave? And his response to me, we got into a little bit, he was claiming that you cannot maintain straight, I think he didn't say straight and level. You cannot maintain straight flight without a map.
That's called a non sequitur fallacy.
What's a dildo?
Yeah. So I pointed out to him very nicely that we've been through a lot of these videos, and the pilots are demonstrating that they're using the horizon, parts of the aircraft to maintain straight and level flight. Straight flight, they usually pinpoint something out in the distance, and that's where they're going to maintain straight flight. And then the level flight, you're using the horizon and the wings and everything else. So I said, Dave, we've had professional pilot instructors on whether you've watched Nathan's show, we've been through this 2 or 3 times. So I put this one on specially for Dave to point out There's no map required to maintain straight and level flight whatsoever.
Oh, bless. That's really kind of you to address Dave's non sequitur fallacy.
Yeah, that's great. I love when they just completely non sequitur away from the point and try to chase some other ridiculous aspect of their religion. But sea level being part of the horizon is where we have our axiomatic tie to horizontal. That will never be broken, and that will never change. That is just a fact of how we experience the world. And we measure from that. There is no discussion to be had about whether the Earth's curving or not.
That's correct.
Well said.
Neither this attitude nor that too low a nose attitude is correct, because we know that at this power setting, that is the correct level flight attitude. All right, let's now talk about straight flight. To fly the aircraft straight, again, 2 requirements. The first one, to keep the wings level. It's no use having the wings like that, we'll turn. So we've got to keep the wings level to the horizon. And the second requirement...
Right, you've got to keep the wings level to the horizon. It's game over.
Oh, dear.
Earth's measured flat.
Is to keep the aircraft in balance. That little black ball needs to be kept central. Now, to confirm that we're flying straight, select a reference point. And if you look ahead, I'll just lower the nose so you can see it. I've got a beautiful chimney in view. And as long as that chimney remains in my 12 o'clock position, I know that I'm flying straight. Further confirmed, of course, by looking at the directional gyro indicator to confirm that we are maintaining the heading we require.
Hang on a minute.
In a nutshell, that's flying straight and level.
Where's his map?
Oh, sorry. Did you want me to clarify that for Dave McKeegan? Dave, you're a moron using a non sequitur fallacy. Yeah, when describing straight and level flight, the map's got nothing to do with it, you crazy clown.
Can I just say this, McKeegan? The map you're looking for is the flat Earth that you're flying over. That's your map, okay? The actual Earth itself. Thank you.
Exactly, Jin, and that's what he's just explained. You're using the horizon, which John's just explained what that is. We all know what it is. It's referencing the surface of Earth. You're utilising that for straight and level flight.
Just on the note of his non sequitur, though, does Dave have the misapprehension that maps work with anything other than flat directionalities like north, south, east and west? I mean, we did cover this earlier with Edinburgh. Maybe Dave can stutter and stammer and lisp his way around the fact that all maps are going to be using a compass if they're any use. And that's a flat Earth prerequisite. Maybe you could address that. It's a direct rebuttal to your non sequitur, as opposed to an address to the flight and straight and level requirements that the flight's in. Nevertheless, your non sequitur with a map doesn't really help you much either, Dave, you dumbo. Maps are flat. They utilise a compass and flat directionality. Why would you be using that as a non sequitur, you bonehead?
It's only a short one, wasn't it? But
that was nice. No, I love it.
Straight to the point.
Squeezed in the hour. Perfect. Right, anybody got any comments before we do round out this live stream?
I was just going to say, what a fantastic live stream. It was great. One deck, that video was bang from the first seconds, opening seconds. It was game over for the globe. Well done, mate. Just a quick round of applause there quickly. Thank you very much.
Woo, woo, woo. Very good. I love that. I like these videos, and people are getting the hang of it now. I mean, not that you weren't initially, but, you know, there's a temptation to just continually respond to the Dave McKeegans. Now, we can incorporate them. I'm not against describing how they've utilised a non sequitur fallacy when responding to someone like One Deck in comments. That's fine. But I just don't necessarily want to cover their videos where we have to overcome their lies. Whereas when we actually deal with the normies, like this guy, he's not making any apologetics for how unball-shaped it is he? He's just describing how he flies the plane. There's no apologies needed. There's no explanations needed. It's not that serious. Earth's just being measured and flown over flat. That's just how it is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. If you are watching this live, please let Air Safety Matters know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube algorithmic bots, or indeed the videographer himself. I've been Nathan Oakley. A massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken, we just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and begs, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.